Hello guys and welcome back to another Liga Ajax Hispania replay. I've got a treat for you guys today. I am bringing you a 4v4 on the port of Hamburg, sent in to me by one of my clanmates called Ziva Lord Maur. I hear it is a good game, so let's have a look at the playlist. So on the Axis team we have Zeveriski, Cell Hunter, and Zeva Lord Maur playing as the Wehrmacht, and Zeva Chaplain as the Oberkommando West. And there's the levels. We got Nerv Trez as Soviets, Kul Shino as the British, RC Powered as the Soviets, and Yo for the British. So we see the levels is pointing into Team into the Allies' favour. So we'll see how the game goes. Okay, so let's have a look at some doctrines, right? So RC Powered has gone Lend-Lease Tactics, very good. We see that M40 Sherman is a very good and very capable medium tank capable of taking out a Panzer IV. Risky has gone the look up and supply doctrine, supply drop zone, reconnaissance, overfly at the incendiary bombing run, very good, and the Stuka strike is always very good. However, I would always be wary about bringing this doctrine against the British, as if they start pumping out those Bofors emplacements, those supply drops are going to have a tough time to land. If we go down, we can see that Zeva Chaplain has gone the fortifications doctrine. I personally don't like this fortification. I think for Oberkommando fortifications, this is a very bad doctrine, especially if you're going against especially the British, whose fortifications will be able to outrange and pretty much annihilate the majority of the Axis ones. We've got Lord Maur bringing the Jaeger Armour Doctrine, it's a decent one. We've got a lot of Stuka bombing strikes on this, the elephants and the spotting scope, and quite a bit of recon. I don't think this doctrine was needed, considering that Risky was playing this doctrine. Just a bit of fighting on the background there, a bit of a fight over. Looks like the Axis are managing to secure the left side pretty nicely there. And if we go on to the other team, Trez has gone the shock rifle frontline tactics with these shock troops, the KV-8, the IS-2, which is a very good tank. The Axis need to watch out for that, and incendiary. And the Commando Regiment, very good artillery regiment. Quite a lot of artillery seems to be coming on this game, so it's going to be a good game. And Cell Hunter hasn't picked a doctrine yet. Let's hope he doesn't go Festrung Armour Doctrine, or they're going to make a massive mistake by doing that. So the Axis are holding pretty nicely on the left side. The Allies are clumping up a bit over here with the conscripts and everything against this. However, this MG42 should not be targeting this engineer squad. They should be concentrating on the Vickers machine gun and this massive blob of infantry. Chaplain did try and do a little flank on the left side here, but not much was happening. On the right side, there is a British Universal Carrier in the mix of things, and if I'm looking, Lord Maur is building a lot of MGs, too many MGs. This is a great way to fail as the Axis. Early game, a couple of MGs is okay, but right now, as you see, he has no frontline infantry at all. So if those Axis got Universal Carrier, it is great for pinning down and suppress and flanking the MGs. And as we can see, that is exactly what he's doing right now. And Lord Maur is going to have to reposition his MG, but as you see, this thing is very, very quick on its feet, and it will happily just be able to run around the MG all day long. In the centre, Risky's being a bit more, Cell Hunter's being a bit more conservative, but still two MGs, no Grenadier frontline infantry. So far, the only person I see bringing frontline infantry to this game is Risky, and he is a relatively new, he is a relatively new Wehrmacht player. He plays a lot of American, and as I know, he's recently moved on to playing quite a bit of Wehrmacht, so we'll see how he goes today. Look, if we look at the Allies, if we bring it down to half, if we look at the Allies right now, a lot of MGs for Trez as a Soviet, but he still has some infantry. Britain, 1 MG, some good frontline infantry, good frontline infantry, good frontline infantry. The one thing the Allies don't have right now is that good frontline infantry that they so desperately need right now. The Axis need. See, Lord Maur now has no way of dealing with this MG with his own MGs now, because it is in a building. If he had some grenadiers, he could do some flanking with the grenadiers and throw a couple of rifle grenades in there, or maybe get a flamethrower up there. But he hasn't got that frontline infantry. See, Cell Hunter still hasn't got that frontline infantry, causing the tide down again. Chaplain has some frontline infantry for the Oberkommando player, which I expect. However, I would expect Chaplain to have a lot more infantry out now. You should not be bringing out this commando. You should not be bringing out this truck this early. I would personally recommend 2 Stern Pioneers and 3 Volks Grenadiers before even bringing that thing out. That's a nice frontline base. MG42 lost, and the British are going to have a field day and pick that up. Look, they didn't pick that up. They went into the building to stop Risky over there getting in there. Risky's remanning the MG42, and still, see, one MG42 and that infantry line, he'll do a good job. But however, Trez is holding down the right side very, very, very well, and Hunter doesn't have any frontline infantry. Why is he spamming Pioneers? Pioneers are not good frontline infantry. He doesn't have his first. He doesn't even have his first building out. What is he doing? And it's just, I don't know what he's doing. He's making a grave mistake, and he needs to be bringing out those grenadiers. There we go. Now Lord Maur's bringing out some frontline infantry as well, but Cell Hunter is really leaving the side down here. It needs to pick it up a bit. British infantry sections, I believe, have they been upgraded now? They haven't been upgraded at all yet, but one of them has got the artillery upgrade during the thing. Both is emplacement being put down on the right side, very good, and the mortar emplacements, very heavy British mortar emplacements from Yo over on the right side. Good choice, especially as he has it locked down. You should never let a British player lock down a point, or it's going to be a pain in your arse to try and re-clear it. But right now, it's a very close game over. Good Panzerfaust from Risky there on the Universal Carrier. Very good Panzerfaust. Risky seems to be doing the best at the moment, to be honest, especially with his infantry corps. Chaplain has no frontline infantry practically. He has 2 Volkswagens and Stern Pioneer. And I understand there's a vehicle there to pick up. I generally understand that, but you do not do a vehicle harvest that close to the front line, especially if you focus fire on those Pioneers, those Stern Pioneers. They would have dropped like flies. Good incendiary grenade on the building. However, the British is calling in artillery, and the great Molotov thrown there by RC Powered, stopping him from getting that building. But Chaplain doesn't have the frontline infantry to contend with the Allies. As you see, the Allies are having a much bigger army than the Axis right now, and the other commander West should have an equal army to the British at this point. They should have at least 3 Volksgrenadiers and 2 Stern Pioneers, or 3 Stern Pioneers, and even one Volksgrenadier would be sufficient. But 2 Volksgrenadiers, there we go. Because Chaplain is hoarding up that manpower. He needs to get some more. I would get another Volksgrenadier. So another Stern Pioneer as well. Having 1 Stern Pioneer, Stern Pioneers are really good units. They'll be really good. And now and Cell Hunter is finally building that infantry companion at the 7th minute mark in the game. In my opinion, that is not very good. He should have had that out straight away, and he doesn't even have Battle Phase 1 right now. If you look at Lord Maur, Battle Phase 1 complete, Severiski, Battle Phase 1 complete, and he has a very actually pretty laid out base, to be honest, very well organised on him, and he even has the bunker back at base, so he's doing a great job at his base supply right now. However, both will be placed on the left side. That's going to force the enemy back quite a bit, and this is a good reason. Cell Hunter now should be the focus on some mortars, but again, he hasn't got any frontline infantry at all, so he's not going to be able to hold any line with it. He needs to use his MGs and flamethrowers. Very good. Bunker in the centre, I like it, but why would you have a bunker? Why would you build a bunker in the centre if you have 2 MGs? It's just a bit overkill, and those resources could be spent elsewhere to help upgrade your base. He's finally building. He's building 3 mortars. He needs to stop. This team is holding manpower like I've never seen it before. Cell Hunter has 765. Why on earth is he building 3 mortars? There is no need for it. The British mortar emplacements will annihilate that. He's just overkill. It's like he's not going. It's like he's going only support infantry. Well, support infantry is good if you have infantry to support it with. He has no infantry to push, and as you see, he's got nothing. He can't really attack this. And the British mortar emplacement with the flak emplacement boost is just going to annihilate that scout car on the left side. And Risky's now lost some fuel. But Risky seems to be the only one with a well-balanced army right now. He has MGs, Pioneers, and Grenadiers, and he's starting to upgrade his Grenadiers. Now, if I was him, I would start focusing, and he even got out a scout car, so he even had some light armor. It's a very well composite, balanced army. If we look at the British players, Yor can go in placement heavy because he's got the right side locked down, and he hasn't got a lot of frontline infantry, but that's fine as he has the Bofors and the mortar emplacement, so that is fine. He has got manpower on the field. He's got map presence on the field still. We've got RC powered 2 mortars. That's completely fine to have 2 mortars, especially the Russian ones. 3 units of conscripts, an MG, and an engineer. Perfectly well balanced army. We got the Nerve Trez, bringing out some Zis anti-tank guns. Bit preemptive on the anti-tank guns, however, can be used as artillery, so I suppose I like where he's going with this, especially his purple is quite blobbing. And why would he build? I don't know why he would build a flak emplacement. I get his gun fortifications, I really do, but Stern Pioneers flak emplacements are really bad. The good if the enemy's calling in a lot of airstrikes, very good. By all means, bring one, build one on the map at a key position if like you got the Soviet calling in new fuel constantly. But we've seen none of that so far, and it's been very dangerous. Risky being a very good team player there, putting some munitions down. Everyone's getting some. Luke's on the field by Chaplin. Good choice, and he now has that nice stable frontline army now. With that flak placement is not good because the majority of the time that thing will not be killed, it will be decrewed and the enemy could easily pick it up. And especially if you're about to recapture that point, if he puts one grenadier in squad, he can stop pinning down the troops against you and you've used your own emplacement against you. Third Bofors, bit overkill, that does not need to be built in my opinion. He has one there and 2 mortar emplacements. 2 more emplacements, a bit too more. Now I think blue's going a bit too emplacement heavy. Turquoise is fine. Turquoise owns this side, so really blue, it should not be trying to double up the fortification to the side. That's just inviting a load of mortars, especially the 3 that Hunter has. He's now gone the elite troops doctrine with the stormtroopers, which he upgraded with the G43 rifles. I never think this is a really bad cost-effective thing. You should always do the 4 Sturmgewehr 44 assault rifles. Definitely do the STGs with the stormtroopers, unless you want the Panzer Shreks. But Luke's is pushing up pretty quickly, but you need to be careful if that flak gun gets a read in it. That will be bye-bye Luke's, and he's bringing up an AT gun to do some damage to that. And you see, there's a lot of mortars on the field. This is a horrible thing to do. This is a horrible. Look how well clumped up those mortars are. Well, one direct mortar hit there can really annihilate, can really do damage on that. And he's building even more. He's building 6 mortars. This guy is an idiot. I will say it right now on the thing. I don't care how new you are to the game. You should, as the Wehrmacht, you have gone pure support infantry. You've got no frontline infantry. Think about it. What has he got in the line of anti-tank? He's got none. If the British brought out an armoured car instead of the flak guns, or the Soviet brought out T-70, they could drive it straight through the middle and then annihilate all of these mortars. He's not even using the mortars to great effect. This is holding him back. Because he's got no infantry. All he needs to do is move up a conscript squad, and that's it. You can't do anything. There's way too much artillery on this field for the Allies' Axis. I get the emplacement. They're using a lot of emplacements, and I generally get that. I really do generally get that. Good kill there with the Stern Pioneer and the Kennwerfer. Good kill. However, on the right side, the reason why they have not taken this right side is due to the fact of the amount of artillery that is on the field. This is unacceptable. This is inviting early game armor. And Chaplin, you are hoarding manpower. Spend some of it. Good Nick. The Kennwerfer is being remanned, but he needs to get it out of there, and he has lost that again. See, the British aren't spamming anything. They have one left side, 1 Bofors, 1 mortar, 1 Bofors, 1 mortar on the right. It's perfectly easy, solid defence line. Stormtroopers, you're going very early infantry with a huge mortar core, 6 mortars. Look at his supply. Look at it. He's on 68 of 100. There is no hope of him bringing out any decent armour. And he's got 280 fuel. Easily get to battle. He's hasn't even got battle phase 1 yet. He should be going to at least battle phase. He should be on at least battle phase 2 now and pumping out Panzer IVs. Risky's doing. Chaplin's doing a good job now. He's got a nice frontline base, some light armour. I'm presuming this is one of his Panzer headquarters. Lord Maur bringing out a Panzer IV. See, Lord Maur knows what to do. Lord Maur's bringing out a Panzer IV, very good. But this is just horrible. There is too much. It's all clumped up as well, and it's just going to invite. I get the incendiary, great incendiary barrage there. I believe that was by Zibarisky. Yeah, it was great incendiary. That should burn that front line pretty nicely. It was a good kill, and these mortars are having a toll, but there is way too many mortars on this field, and it is definitely overkill. If the Allies bring out any armour soon, which they're not far away from doing, as both British players have their tank bases up and operational now. Russian player is building a. Russian player should have his 3rd building up now and getting some tanks out. Yep, there we go. There's the 2nd build. The T-70 should be coming out soon. And as you see, it's just not working. The centre is just. It's just. I play quite a bit of company fields too, and something like this, and I play a lot of Wehrmacht and over Commander West, but this just triggers me. I would never ever do this on a team, and if a teammate of mine did that, I would shout at him all game until he got. So I would send them to the enemy to get killed. Because look at this, so well blobbed up that if Mortar tries to aim for this, he can miss and hit this, and it's not even doing any good. Great assault thing. I think it's called the assault. It's the assault doctrine ability, and it's just going to now they're going to see everything that the enemy have. Panzer IV's doing a good job, however it needs to be supported with infantry. Something that his teammate, which is Cell Hunter, should be really doing, and he should be bringing out some infantry to really support it. But I see no support right now for the infantry at all. I'm going to fast forward it because there's just quite a lot of mortar bombarding. See, there we go. And sorry, that just shows exactly why he shouldn't clump up. He clumped up all of his mortars, and the Russian player knew this is alright, I'm having enough of this. Brought out Katusha, perfect thing to deal with it. The minute he clumped up his artillery, and bye bye mortars. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mortars. And I swear to God, if he resupplies every single one of those mortars, I am going to be absolutely fuming with the guy. The flat position, I don't know why he's building them. I really don't know why he's building them. Really bad choice. There you go, he's throwing now an artillery barrage down. That thing is now dead. It's just a waste of manpower because these things cost fuel as well. Some people need to understand. These flak emplacements cost fuel and they're expensive for what you get out of them. Especially if you get your base back there, there's no need for it. If you want the anti-air, your flak headquarters should just be enough anti-air. There's no need to have that on the field. Risky trying to do a push, but again, with no support, he's not going to be able to take out that Bolfers emplacement and everything. And it's just the right side is just heavily fortified. And now the worst thing that's happening right now, the Allies team have armour on the field, and there is very little. It's a couple of Panzer IV. It's a Panzer IV, there's a Luke's, and there's a Panzer IV over here. So the Allies are now cracking on, and they've all got. There's 3 tanks on the field now. Two tanks on the field and a Katusha, and that Katusha can do some damage to Cell Hunter. And he actually is. He's resupplying all of his mortars again, and he's inviting to get them to get. It is a waste, and I bet you he's not even going to send these guys back to base. He's going to take both of them, and that is why you don't build flak replacements. They're so flimsy. It's Panzer IV. See, look, so far the only people that the majority, it's like a 3v2 right now. To be honest, in my opinion, it's Risky, Lord Maur, and Chaplain doing the majority of this lead work now, and they're doing a very good job on the centre. Risky is doing a very good job on centre with Chaplain to hold the left side to stop them from being able to push, and Lord Maur is doing an excellent job of stopping the Russian player from taking the centre and flanking all of that squishy Hunter's squishy army. Look at it now, he's lost all these mortars. What has he got? A couple of Stormtroopers that aren't really upgraded very well. 2 Pioneers, an MG. He hasn't even got bad. He's got 418 fuel, man. He needs to get. You can tell this guy does not play Rush. He does not play Wehrmacht at all, and he's just embarrassing the team right now. Panzer IV is doing alright against the Cromwell, and it's doing a very good job. There's a very good push there with Risky's Panzer IV. He's probably shouting Patton right now, as he does when he's playing America, but he's Germany right now, so we should call him. Who should we call him? We should call him Heinz Guderian. There we go. He's Guderian when he's playing Wehrmacht. We'll call him Guderian. Great mortar coverage. He's just going to do a lot of damage. Risky should not. He has got an advantage, and he has pushed very nicely, taking out the AT gun, but he needs to make sure not to overextend his lines. He has support with Chaplain now in the infantry, so the left side has been recaptured in the name of the Wehrmacht right now. So if we look on the right side, there is a good push there there is a very good push there. Lord Maur has some very competent armour, an Ostwind and a Panzer IV. I personally would have gone for the Ostwind. I would have gone for the more Panzer IVs. He needs to push that Panzer IV back. Actually, no, I would have gone for got upgraded for the last base, and I got a Brumbar. A Brumbar would be really good. Really good fallback position here by Lord Maur. I would have personally put it a little bit further back, as it is quite close to the front line. However, if he could defend it, I got nothing wrong with that. He should be able to hold that. See, Lord Maur is a perfect example of what a very competent frontline army should be. You've got 2 engineers, 1 back at base, 1 for a flamethrower should be on minesweeper frontline helping. He's got a decent amount of armour on the field. He has competent frontline infantry and some artillery support for himself. Personally, 1 mortar would be enough considering the amount of support he has from his allies. Saying that, Cell Hunter is just clumping up all these mortars in places that don't really need it right now, to be honest. And Risky D unfortunately did lose his Panzer IV on the left side to the double Cromwell with the black armour. So these Cromwells are going to charge straight for that Luke's. I think Chaplain may have forgotten about that Luke's, and this is why I said this before. Cell Hunter has nothing at all to defend himself, and bye bye all these mortars have just gone. Personally, I'll get that Luke's out there. There's no point in losing that. It'll be good for the late game. Luckily that wall is there. And Cell Hunter's army has just disintegrated, and the guy practically has nothing left now. Let's have a look. I'll press him now. He has a couple of mortars, and he's still building more mortars. He should stop. He should stop building mortars. He should get battle phase 1. Finally getting battle phase 1. Why is he getting another pioneer? I don't know why he's bringing out more pioneers. Lord Maur is bringing out some competent armour and is able to halt the allied push on the left. However, if some AT guns don't get there, Lord Maur is going to get flanked. However, the good job is Risky is bringing in a Panzer IV, which is going to do a good job against them. And some look, there is a massive armour push here, but look, thanks to thanks to Risky's Panzer IV, he's been able to push them back. And if he gets one more shot, actually, he's lucky to fancy one more shots, and the Panzer IV with no side skirt, and get a very nice kill, and very good kill on the centre there. And he's pushing that back and practically saving Lord Maur's skin right there. Doing a good job. The Stuck's doing a good job, and if he's a Panzerfaust, that T-34 is not going to get out of there now. And with Risky support, they're doing alright. However, there is going to be some artillery inbound. I don't know what artillery that could be. I believe it is the Incendiaries to try and destroy those bunkers, which is a good job by the Allies team here. However, Cell Hunt, it is practically a 3 versus 2 here. I'm the Chaplain, Lord Maur, and Risky are doing a great job with their armour right now and being able to stop that push. That push could have been very horrible for Lord Maur if Risky didn't get those tanks in there to support, because Cell Hunter's army just got completely squished as he has no form of frontline infantry. Even if he had a couple of grenadiers, he could have pied a couple of Panzerfaust, he would have slowed them down quick enough for Risky to bring in some armour. But luckily he was quick. Risky was quick off the mark and managed to get the armour in to be destroyed. The right side very fortified again, and I believe there is a paratrooper drop. I'm not sure what this is. Recon or paratroopers, I don't know. I believe it's just a recon. It's the Russian, yeah, it must be just a Russian recon. Yes, and the Katyusha's firing. I don't know where it's firing at. Oh, it's firing at this position with the, it's firing. I think it's flying on with these flares now. Oh no, it is a friendly fuel drop. That is a very dangerous place to put it. I Personally, I wouldn't have gone for this. However, I see they need the fuel, so they're going to have to risk it. But luckily, there is no allied support in the area because a lot of their armour was hit, and they're going to have to rebuild. Right side is very fortified. However, I don't believe they need this much to be fortified. I like the job the engineers could start taking out some of these fuel caches that Lord Maur and Risky have put up. It's a very good job, so they're doing all right there. Thanks to, luckily though, they did do a very good job of holding off that barrage. Cell Hunter needs to get his pull his stormtroopers out there right now, and there is a Cromwell in the back line, in Hunter's front line as well. Hunter has nothing against anti-tank. He's finally bringing out a pack. Well, he's not even. He's nicking a British anti-tank gun, so he hasn't even managed to produce his own. So he's now only going for the battle upgrade with the 470 fuel he has, and he might be able to build some troops that are actually going to be competent enough to help. Don't know who was doing the Stuka bomb, but personally the Stuka bomb is not advised on armour, especially when it's in enemy lines. If the enemy was pushing here and they had all those fortifications, a Stuka bomb in the middle there would do a great job. I don't know what happened to those Sioux, but I can only imagine it was down to the AT of Risky and Chaplain, which is doing a great job over there. Lord Maur is holding the right side practically by himself right now. I had to give him that. He's doing a great job in holding that off. Chaplin's coming over to send some help, but really this should be Hunter's job to really supply to help his teammate, because those two are the close. Risky and Chaplin are working excellent together in the left side. Lord Maur is managing to hold defense for centre and push the right side, which he's doing a great job considering the very little support he got. Chaplin's got a Panther right now, so that's going to be able to help the allies in their favour now. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit as everyone's just repositioning right now. Massive artillery sweep, not artillery sweep, massive recon sweep, so now the allies know exactly. He's still pumping, Risky is still pumping in a lot of those fuel supplies, and if he's pulling it off, he's actually gaining a decent amount of fuel from this. So he is doing a good job there and being able to supply that. Not much is really happening altogether. It looks like the massive allied push is going to be on the left side in these buildings here, and they are pushing up again. Hunter doesn't really exactly have much. Pack gun, personally, I think is a bad idea, as we just saw here with the demo charge, I believe, or the Gammon bomb almost destroying that. And there's a British Supreme barrage which is going to annihilate the centre here. They're very lucky that if that thing survives, oh my word, if that thing survives, no. If they did it on this side here, it will. Sorry, if they did it on this side here, it would have been GG. It would have been so much stuff. The tanks would have been killed. The Panther would have been killed. The MGs, the infantry would have all been killed. Lord Martin is doing a very good job and set up a decent defensive perimeter on the right side. So right now we see Cull bringing up another Cromwell. Personally, I play quite a bit of British. Yeah, there you go. He's doing it now. He's brought up a Comet, some heavier tanks. Surprised no Fireflies have been seen, but as there is not a lot of heavy armor on the field, there is a Panther or two, but a Comet should be able to do that. No King Tigers, no Tigers. So, and you need to do to take out the AT guns. The Comet will be do a good job. Comet's going to accidentally come across at the Panther in the side, which is doing a good job. However, if these Obersoldaten come back and Panzerfaust it, if they get a Panzerfaust here, it'd be great. Great grenade there, actually, from the tank there. However, he does manage to get out a Panzerfaust, and I believe unless support is brought to the aid of this poor Comet tank, it is going to die. But there luckily is support. There is an AT gun, and the bridge has been destroyed. The bridge has been destroyed, so he's going to be unbelievably lucky and get away. However, if he doesn't move it's going to get. If he doesn't move that Panther, however, it is going to die. Be very lucky that bridge died. That Comet got a very lucky save and a great grenade on this area. Great grenade. Something a lot of people don't realise, but Comet tanks do have the grenade throw ability, and it does do a lot of damage to infantry and AT guns. I generally charge headlong into. If there's one AT gun there, I will charge it, take a couple of shots, throw a grenade at the top of the tank, and it generally kills it. Let's see, the Allies team are lacking the structure now, and the Axis do have the upper hand right now, as it was in the Allies' favour quite a bit earlier on. However, thanks to with the combined armour of Risky, Lord Maur and Chaplain, it seems to be doing alright. I believe Cell Hunter, I don't get it, he's got Battle Phase 3 and has his heavy armour core, and even has the money to get a Rekenwerfer, which would be decent and help, but he hasn't got any armour on the field at all. He's just completely spamming Stormtroopers, and the horrible part is he's not doing anything with them, they're just getting annihilated, and this is going to be devastating. He's on a British artillery barrage, and this is going to, oh wow, this is going to annihilate Risky. If you see that red smoke on your version of the British player, you need to get out of there. That he just lost, he's lucky he didn't lose both Panthers there. He just lost a Panzer IV, a Panther, and a good chunk of infantry. He's lucky he didn't lose any of those Grenadiers, to be honest. And Risky's army has been flattened to a piece, and the Allies, if the Allies act in this pretty early, bit stupid running through your MG through the smoke, so it's a bit of a bad thing there. Chaplain built another one of these. I never build the Pack 40s. The Pack 40s are absolutely horrible. Supported with armour, they're good, but on their own, they are horrible. Watch this, right? He's going to throw a gammon bomb on this thing, like there's no tomorrow, and it's going to be a gammon bomb, and it's been decrewed right now. It's just a horrible emplacement. I really don't like the pack. Heavy pack guns are bad. Even the British ones aren't that good. But the only reason why I would bring a British one is because it can take a lot more fire because it has the brace. And then Chapman's like only able to play with Artie picking a flower. I'm presuming it means that. And with all fairness, Chaplin's a bit wrong there to say he can only play with artillery, because in my opinion, the Axis team has been using a lot more artillery than the Allies team. See, there's not a lot of, if you look for the Allies, they don't have much artillery. They have Katusha, no artillery. What Chaplin must be angry about is that there's a couple of mortars on the Russian team, none on the British. What Chaplin must be angry about is the fact that the British player has this ability, and it's called mortar cover. It fires lots of different mortars and artillery shells and stuff like that, and the bombing run. And with all fairness, it's the Allies that have been spamming it. At one point, you need to remember, Hunter brought out a full army of 8 mortars, which is completely pathetic, and that is the whole reason why they're not doing that good. However, there is a stable army, and there's a 2-star Stug there, and the elephant is out. He has the elephant out. That elephant is going to annihilate anything. If he knows that emplacements there, he can just do a fire attack order, and nothing can touch it. He's going to do a great job. Decent amount of Panthers on the field here. Let's look at Risky's army, see how he's doing. He's recovering pretty nicely. He's bringing out another Panther on the field. His base is being healed. Again, he's organising his base very nicely. I've never seen a Wehrmacht player cares so much about how well placed his base is. And the heal spot right in the middle, I know that is a very, very nice base structure, and I have to commend him on that. Right side, don't know why the Church is going to try and think he can one on a Panther, especially when he's showing his rear armour to the thing. So he should get out of there right now, especially before the Stormtroopers get there, which is the only thing that he's been able to build. Finally a Panther out by Cell Hunter, that's actually going to be able to do anything. Churchill should get out of there though when it is back into ally lines. And the Chaplain is being able to hold them back with a nice frontline support there. Did a good job with Risky's support now, especially as he's building his army back up. But Lord Maur has been doing the majority, has been doing like 90% of the work on the right side here. The only reason that they have not been annihilated, the only reason the Axis has a chance of winning this still is purely based on Lord Maur being able to hold the bottom flank, because if he didn't hold that flank, he would have been crushed. All of what you called Hunter's forces would have been destroyed, and Chaplain and Risky would have just been boxed into a pocket and been annihilated like it was Minsk. Well, there have been incendiary barrages being fired around here, which is quite annoying, and I don't know why he would call in there. I understand bringing the fuel, but the munitions is a much safer play right now. And again, Chaplain, you are hoarding fuel. You are not even at full capacity, man. You have 900 manpower and 544 fuel. For the love of God, bring out a King Tiger. You have enough to do it. You could easily bring out a King Tiger. You have all 3 bases. King Tiger would be great right now. Don't build another Panther. Even if you build another Panther, you've still got enough manpower to bring out a King Tiger. It would annihilate all this British armour, especially now the British is getting comets out of the field as well. The blue British player hasn't really got much. He's spamming commandos now. Imagine doing what Hunter's doing with his bloody stormtroopers. Those stormtroopers have done absolutely jack. And finally, Cell Hunter has done something useful and has killed the Katusha, which has been annoying them quite a bit lately. However, that Panther, I don't know what he thinks he's doing, and that Panther has gone too deep into enemy territory, and it is being flanked. And that is get effed by your own newbie art, which is pretty ironic. Chaplain, I believe, is very angry right now. I don't see why he's so angry, as there's not that much artillery on the field. There's a couple of mortars by the Russian player, and there's not nothing too much really. And that Panther is very close to dying. There is an IS-2 on the field, for crying out loud. I don't know what Cell Hunter's doing, but he has now just lost a Panther for no reason. The IS-2 on the field is going to be a very dangerous thing for the Axis to burst. Chaplain is pushing this Sioux, which is a good job. Sioux can give it, but can't really take it that much. However, with the AT gun in the background and the comets nearby, I would seriously think about retreating the Panther. And it did take quite a bit of damage there. That right side, that IS is going to be a very deadly thing for Risky to deal with over here. With the Risky's moving quite a bit of his arm on the right, and he's thinking about doing a decent sized push on the right side. The enemy's defences on the right side are pretty weak right now, and they don't have much artillery. The IS-2 into the field is going to be a great help, and Risky's going to have to pull back that Panther straight away, because Panther's good, but an IS-2 is better. You know, we've offered it to Chaplain, but a King Tiger, which he can. It would do a great job. He has the manpower and the fuel to bring one out, and he's not doing it. I don't know how, but that Panther sidearmor bounced an IS-2's frontal armor. With the AT gun support, it's pretty even right now. However, the IS-2 needs to make sure not to push too far ahead, or it's just going to get destroyed by 3 Panthers. If that elephant turns itself around, do a great job at it. However, these Panthers are going to be able to kill it now with 4 Panthers. However, those AT guns are going to take its toll, and Hunter is going to lose his tank by the look of it. I think this is one more shot up, Hunter will lose his tank, but no, he got very lucky. But there's a massive bombing run, and here come the British bombers, and bye bye Chaplain's frontline troops. He just managed to get that Panther out of there. And Chaplain is not very happy, as we can see by these side notes. But at the end of the day, he knows that the British have done this before, and the minute you see that red circle, you should get out of there. Luckily, most of the forces were on the left side, and all he lost was the infantry, which is still a pretty big thing for the Oberkommando player. And as you see, there's a couple of panzer shots on the floor that can be picked up. But that's what you get for being an emplacement doctrine. You're going to have to deal with the British. You have to deal with the British bombing runs, which are they do cost a lot. They do cost 350 munitions, I believe. Yep, there we go. Supremacy 325. So they are very expensive, and they are very cost effective if you can use them correctly. A lot of clumped up armour here. You don't really want to clump up allied armour against Panthers. However, for some reason, Chaplin is decided to do a kamikaze hit, and he's showing. However, Risky's done a bit accidentally, kind of blocked off that Panther, and because of that, it's going to look. And all the Panther's been decrewed, so if the allies get over there quickly, they should be able to help out quite a bit. Hunter's bringing in his, I believe this is Hunter's Panthers family bringing in some stuff, but he's got more supporting infantry. Bringing a couple of packs into the field with an MG42 would be very useful. Look at the size of the Soviet army compared to Hunter's. Risky's army is quite small. The Axis have quite a low army. If it wasn't, and I believe Chaplin practically has nothing left on the field now due to that heavy artillery bombing strike by the British player. I do have to admit, this British player has done a brilliant job. I couldn't say. However, bringing both the same doctrine is a bit overpower and overkill. You should never bring two of the same. You should never bring two of the same doctrine. It loses up the thing. However, due to the fact that they have enough munitions, these artillery strikes are doing a great job, and the Allies are losing a lot of armour because of this. However, Lord Maur, after quite a bit of pushing and a lot of time pushing and being pushed back and flanked and having no help from his teammate, has single-handedly practically been able, with a bit of Risky and Chaplin support, has been able to single-handedly almost push back and has managed to recapture the right side star for the first time in this game. I have to admit, Lord Maur, you have been the silent workhorse in the back of this team, keeping it stable, and he has kept this team going. Because without Lord Maur holding that flank, this team would have been annihilated. Hunter is not still Hunter's army. If we look at it, it's just in shambles. No armor now. He's just been stupid enough to lose both of his Panthers, and he has nothing. Lord Maur's having to dispatch Stugs to help out, and he's still got mortar. He's still got a mortar and two stormtroopers. He's got 352 fuel, man. Get Panthers on the field. It's not difficult. Just protect them. Jag Panzers, even if you want to be cheap, which will do a good job. Like Lord Maur holding the right side and helping to hold the centre's flank. Again, doing a great job. If he uses his stormtroopers correctly, he can actually be able to kill this. And if he doesn't move that Stug, this Churchill shouldn't be able to get out of there. But with the tank traps there, it's not a very good thing for the Allies to really do. But luckily, Lord Maur is holding the right side and the centre, stopping them from capturing it, and he's keeping this team together in the blue when it comes to the points score altogether. I'll fast forward a little bit, as not much is happening. I'll pause it now and fast forward it. Chaplin has now got another Panther on the field, and he's starting to rebuild his army, and he's building, and he's still built this bloody stupid flak emplacement, which is absolutely atrocious, that I wouldn't agree with at all. Great 50kg bomb there. A bit more to the right, he would have been able to hit the Sioux, but that's a great position, helping out I believe it was actually, yeah, it was Lord Maur using his great use of it, killing the AT gun and the MG, so his elephant's going to easily 1v1 take out that Sioux 85. This thing has a beast range on it. I believe he can't see it, no, neither side can see it, so he's quite lucky there. Big push on the left side here, and Chaplin is just getting overwhelmed. In my opinion, Chaplin should set up a defensive core and bring some Recurrent Werfers out. You've got the manpower, you've had the manpower the entire game, you could have put out a lot more tanks, you could have been able to bring out a King Tiger, to be honest, and some Recurrent Werfers. However, set up a defensive cordon around here, you've got the tank traps, you can funnel them into this small gap, mine up this position, and you should be sorted. Some support is being sent over now with Risky has finally built up his Panther army back up, and I don't know where he got this from. He must have been spamming these at base, and he's finally going to bring these in, and this Panther is going to and that Churchill is going to bite the dust, and there's going to be a massive counter-offensive right now by the oh, there we go. The Chaplin is not is venting out some of that anger from early on with the backup of Risky's cavalry, as we see there. Heinz Guderian there, or Patton as he likes to be known as there. Even though he's Germany, so we are going to call him Guderian, is going to do a frontal charge on the enemy position. He needs to be careful, there's an AT gun there, but 4 Panthers should be easily sufficient to take on all that, especially as the majority of this army is showing its side to him. He's going to lose that frontal Panther, and Hunter's moving in his Panther to flank, who's doing something decent. However, there's a heavy AT gun line in the back, and there is artillery being called in, I believe. Great incendiary there, killing the AT guns. However, I believe enemy artillery has been called in on the other side, So I'll be very wary, guys. Both two flames. And there's a massive push on this side. A bit too blobby in my opinion, especially when there's an AT gun there. I don't think you need to push anymore, and it's just once he's just getting hit terrifically, and he needs to get those Panthers out of there. Risky. I'd never seen 3 tanks this messed up before. It's a bit of a glitch, and he's going to lose tanks because of that. Risky needs to get his tanks out of there, and he's going to lose 2 tanks because of that. However, like I said, Lord Maur holding on very well on the right side and holding pretty nicely. Reversing into the enemy's lines. It's a new thing I've seen there. It's a very bit exciting game. Lots of tank battles, lots of entrenchment. This left side has been an absolute mess. Massive mistakes on both sides, to be honest. But I have to say, best player of the game, best player from both sides, got to be Lord Maur. And for this side, I'm going to have to say the RC powered Russian has done a decent job with his AT and. He's done his great job with his AT and light tanks, which have been doing a quite good job with his mortars and infantry doing a good job on the left side. However, second up, after the British, worst player on this team personally, I would have to say the Green Soviet. Didn't do a good job, but he saved up all that money for the IS-2, and Lord Maur just managed to burst through it. This team, Lord Maur, held this team up together like glue. But I have to say the worst player on this team had to be definitely Hunter. No army composition structure. Buying elite troops does not mean they are all going to be good. There was no team. He's helping the team out in absolutely no way. Spamming 8 mortars is just a horrible thing to do. Had his army killed again and again and again. Just being more of a hindrance than a help for the team, to be honest. Lord Maur was having to hold 2 fronts. With no support from his teammate, and only now recently Hunter's been able to hold out support. However, Risky had to come in close second near the end there with that great tank charge. However, a bit crap near the end, to be honest, because he just got hit in the side and just a bit of a massive cluster of crap going on in the centre there, causing it to ring. However, thanks to Lord Maur holding the 2 right side, the centre and the right side of the star, it is going to give the Allies the Axis the win for this one. So Lord Maur, man of the match for the Axis, and not Nerve Trez, sorry, what's his name? And you should all kill yourself. That's Chaplin, there you go, very triggered and rage, as we see here. It was a long game, so I do see he did get his army destroyed by the British thing, and it can be annoying, and we all have to say that, but Chaplin needs to calm down a bit. And RC Power doing the best for the Russian there, great job there, he did a great job. Unfortunately, his allies didn't back him up enough. However, the British player, however, Yo did help him, was the runner up, did do a great job on this left side, held it. However, the turquoise and the green player didn't do very good at holding the right side or pushing it at all. Early game they did good, but then Lord Maur, once he got himself together on his own, slowly be able to build up a very well composited army with MGs. Grenadiers did die quite in the end, but he did a great job and held the position very well. And he's doing a great job. However, the AT guns with the Russian player, again, just being a hindrance and stopping these Panthers from pushing, really. Mixed it with the Comet. The Comet tanks weren't a bad choice, but he brought them out way too late. Brought out way too many Cromwells. Some Fireflies would have been better for this, in my opinion, for the range. AT guns doing a great job. And these little crappy Sioux people don't talk about. This one's 3 stars here. It's got 2 vehicle kills and 2 Panther kills. And I believe there's going to be a... And this is going to be enough, and that is the game over there, guys. I will show you to the end screen. Great game to both for the teams there. Great sports. Well, Chaplin needs to calm down a little bit, but after getting your entire army killed by a British bombing run, it does get pretty annoying. So I feel his pain. It's happened to me before when I was a bit newer in the game, and I used that doctrine quite a bit, and it's quite good at all. So we'll have a look at the Lord Maur doing a lot of damage. If we look at the overview, most damage in the game. Risky did the most damage there. However, damage isn't everything, and holding the point on the right side practically by himself, Lord Maur was able to secure the most kills. Did get the second least amount of deaths on the team, and was able to lost only 1 point, so captured the most and held it. Very good job there, Lord Maur. Risky doing great jobs with his Panthers late game there, giving him that massive damage thing. Cull did the most damage on their team. However, I have to say RC Power did the best with an overall army composition. Let's have a look at the graphs. As we'll see, Hunter's practically stayed at the bottom the entire game, with practically not much to show for it. Thank you guys for watching, and what you think of this game below. Like and subscribe if you like the content, and let me know what your comments are on this game. And I'll see you later, guys, and bye bye.